Hey, I think we're almost done. So we have most of our data, all of our data actually in table format or database format, which is wonderful. Uh, However, we can make it more useful. Uh, Adding another column over here. There's different ways to do this. In a more advanced class, I wouldn't do it this way, but uh, it's easier for us to take this approach. We're going to add, let's see, I think about 4 to 5 additional columns. We could put, in terms of SAT scores, we need verbal, math, and writing. Verbal, I'm typing this in, and I tab over to go to the right. Instead of pressing enter, I go to the cell below. If I tab, I go to the cell to the right. Verbal, math, and writing. Correct? Those are the 3 ranges of SAT scores that I want because at this point, the information gives us low, high, low, high. The way we want to display it is a range as a high and a low. Also, we have tuition fees. These were in-state tuition fees, out-of-state, graduate class tuition fees, and out-of-state. So let's go ahead and create headers for that, or column headers. This was in-state undergrad, right? So in-state undergrad. And I copy that over, go back in with F2, and just change the first, out of state. Less work, right? Now, same thing for graduate students. So I could copy, I'm holding down Shift, pressing right arrow, Control C, going over to X, and pasting. Well, I know that all I need to change is undergrad. Easy, right? F2 to get in the cell and delete. Well, there's multiple ways to look at this. However, I want to format the cell. How do I go about doing that? There's easier ways to get in format cells, but I still like to hold on to my home key. Uh, so I could type and get back to my typing position easier. So I use Alt O E, gets me my format cell. How do I go from tab to tab? Well, it's like going from tab to tab in a Excel workbook. I put hold on Alt page. Oh, sorry, Control page down makes me go to the right. Page up allows me to go to the left. Right now, I want to text wrap these cells. So that would be in an alignment. You see how W is underlined? So if I want to check this, I could click it with my mouse, but I don't want to use my mouse. Another way to do it is Alt W. Done. Text wrap. Now if I want to center this, I could definitely center it by going up here and doing that, but I don't want to use my mouse. So I undoed. Alt OE gets me back to my format cells. I want to get into horizontal text alignment. Alt H C will get me there. Press enter, enter. Fantastic. All right. So I have my column headers. Verbal. I want to put a range. So I have to write a formula. Equals, right? That's how all formulas start. Equals, I'm pressing home right now because I want to go to the column to the left. Well, probably a better example we could work on is row 5, since it's populated with numbers rather than row 4. So we'll go down. I just escaped, went down one with my arrow, equals, I'm pressing home. I want to pick up that cell because that's the front part of my range, low part of my range, equals, and means put together within a formula. And, so I'm putting 380 and I put double quotes, hyphen, and double quotes. That encompasses a text. So I'm putting together 380 plus space, hyphen, and another space. Then I'm going to go ahead and put another and, because I need the outer border. I could use my arrow key, which I can. I'm pressing Control left, moving with my arrow. I want F5 to be my number. I press return, and look at that. Gives me the bottom range and top range with a hyphen in between. Exactly the way I want it. So I want to do the same for math and writing. Uh, we could just do the same type of methodology. Equals, I'm pressing home. I moved it over my arrow, and double quotes because this is a text. I'm moving it over my arrow, and this is the top range. Press enter. Same thing for writing. So equals, what is my low? Oh, sorry. And then what is my high? I like that formula quite a bit because it gets me my high, my low. Let's check it. It's 470 or 370, 450. That would be 370, 470, and then 380, 470. 380, 470. Perfect. All right, so let's do the same, not the same thing, but we still need to do undergrad tuition fees. Well, I'm not quite sure if you guys remember these numbers, but tuition 2 is the tuition for the in-state, and fees are additional fees on top of that, so you're still gonna have to pay it. So we're lumping those two together and considering tuition and fees. So undergrad, we put another formula in there, sum, and I'm using my arrow keys again. Add that and that. How did I just do that? I went to cell K5. I'm holding down shift and then right arrow. I just need a closed parentheses, and then there we go. Out of state, same type of formula. We know it's threes, and graduate school, we're going left the sixes, and out of state graduate school, the sevens. All right. Great thing about copying and pasting formulas, you know, we filled in the entire data set in no time. So I want to copy my formula all the way down. So I'm holding down Shift, Control, right. I'm highlighting the entire area. Copy. I go over here, I go to column R, Control down. I know there's data there. So if I right arrow and then Shift, Control up, I go to the top and I let go of Control. I'm still holding on to Shift. I press one more arrow. I cover all of it. Once again, the NA says I have no data, so I can't give you a number. The way the information came in for some of the schools, there was a dot for SAT scores, so it says, hey, take the value in G for math, take the value in G, add a hyphen, and then put in the value for H, which is dot hyphen dot. Not very useful information, but ultimately, you could clean it. We could clean it up to make it look prettier. However, to get to our end result, it does the trick. Once again, I don't like hard codes in my data itself. So go to cell S4, Shift, Control. I'm holding both Shift and Control down. Right arrow highlights the entire set. Control C, copy, and then you just have to press Enter. You copy the formulas over for later use if you need it. Come down to your data set. Shift, Control, right. I'm still holding Shift and Control. Arrow down. I highlight the entire data set. Control C. Now I want to do paste special values. Hopefully you guys remember this because paste special values you'll use quite a bit. Alt E. I let go of Alt now. S V. Then press OK. Your numbers are hard coded. Look at that. Okay, even with this data, you could do all sorts of things by filtering this. So I'm going to cell Y3, holding down Shift Control left arrow. Now I want to create an auto filter. I'm not quite sure if you guys seen this, but very handy tool. There's a shortcut key for that too. There's two ways to do it, but I personally like holding onto Shift the home key again. Is Alt